Hello, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. I am Yelvi from Civil Department, Politeknik Negeri Jakarta. I would like to present our research about laboratory investigation of liquefaction behavior on sloping ground, insights from physical models. The contents in this presentation are introduction, objectives, method, results and discussion, and conclusion. Background. The background of this research is the massive flow liquefaction that occurred as a result of the 2018 Palu earthquake in Central Sulawesi, Indonesia, has prompted researchers to investigate the causes more deeply. Liquefaction can cause catastrophic damage, including ground collapse, lateral displacement, and infrastructure loss. Importance of understanding both flat and sloped ground liquefaction. Objectives. Investigating liquefaction behavior, focusing on the effects of slope and relative density through laboratory experiments. Methods. The soil sample used in this study is clean sand with uniform gradation, identified within the most liquefiable soil range according to the Suchida chart, as shown in Figure 1. The index properties of the clean sand used in this study are summarized in Table 1. Okay. The study used a second table designed in the soil testing laboratory of the Civil Engineering Department at Politeknik Negeri Jakarta. The dimensions are 1,800 millimeter length by 700 millimeter width. The sample box is a rigid container made of acrylic with dimensions of 1,500 millimeter length by 400 millimeter width and 500 millimeter height. Instrumentation, water pressure, sensors, accelerometers, and LabVIEW-based data equation. The model was developed based on soil investigations conducted in Palu by Tohari 2021. Each model consists of layers of dense sand, loose sand, and medium sand, arranged sequentially from bottom to top within a sample box. In Model 1, the upper and lower boundaries of the loose sand layer are flat, while the medium sand layer has a 5% slope at the upper boundary. The loose sand layer in Model 2 has a 5% slope at the upper boundary. The medium sand layer has a 5% slope at both the layer and the upper layer boundaries 3%. The positions of the sensor can be seen in the figure. Results. In Model 1, the peak excess water pressure occurs at second 15 and 16 after the quake load is applied. For all locations, after excitation stops, EPWP is observed to gradually decreases until the excitation ceases. The excess water pressure increase pattern for EPWP2 and EPWP1 are nearly identical. In contrast, EPWP3 shows somewhat slower decreases after reaching the maximum value. This due to the effect of the relatively thick medium sand layer with unsaturated conditions. The water table is located at the upper boundary of the loose sand. So when the medium sand layer is added, the pore water in the loose sand layer rises into the medium sand layer before excitation. When the quake load is applied, water pressure will continue to rise until it reaches its maximum and decreases more slowly because water in the loose sand layer continues to fill the pore spaces in the medium sand layer. This condition is almost identical to what is shown in Model 2. Sensors 1 and 3 reach their maximum at 10 seconds. The thickness of the medium sand layer in unsaturated condition affects the development of pore water pressure. Water in the pore spaces of the loose sand moves to fill the pore spaces in the medium sand layer. The time required for pore water pressure to reach its maximum is shortest in Model 1. The thickness of the medium sand layer affects the pore space in the loose sand layer when the medium sand layer is added on top. From the effective vertical stress values, the parameter RU can be determined. RU defined as the ratio of excess water pressure to effective vertical stress. When the pore water pressure RU reaches 1, liquefaction occurs. Based on figures, it can be seen that sensor 1 and 2 in Model 1 experiences liquefaction because the EPWP value exceeds the effective vertical stress value. This situation can be attributed to the fact that during excitation, water in the soil pores moves in the direction of the motion of the shaking table. Since the sample container or box is rigid, water cannot escape and eventually accumulates in the middle sensors. 2. Due to water from the left and right sides. In contrast, in Model 2, none of the sensor depth experience liquefaction because the effective vertical stress is much greater than EPWP value. According to Sasaki 1971, the effect of the slope of the lower boundary of the liquefiable layer on soil flow is minimal. However, when the surface of the soil above the liquefiable layer is inclined, and the lower boundary of the liquefiable layer is also inclined or sloped, liquefaction can occur. However, Sasaki 1971 didn't examine the effect of the thickness of the layer above the liquefiable layer. In Model 1, as illustrated in the figure, the excess water pressure value is notably affected by variations in the thickness of the medium sand layer overlying the loose sand layer. It is evident that in model 1.1, 2, and 3 are situated at the same elevation of the loose sand layer. Initially at point 1, with a medium sand layer, the thickness of 1.85 centimeter. The excess water pressure values is 1,154.28 kilonewton per meter square. The excess water pressure value then spikes at point 2, where the medium sand layer has a thickness of 3.7 centimeter. Before this drastically decreasing at point 3, where the medium sand layer is 5.55 centimeter thick and the excess water pressure value is 1,133.60 kilonewton per meter square. This pattern indicates that when the thickness of the medium sand layer doubles, the excess water pressure medium sand layer doubles. Similarly doubles. Subsequently, the medium sand layer thickness decreases by 51% at point 3, and the excess water pressure value decreases by 50%. Reviewing the EPWP values at the same locations on the loose sand layer suggests that water pressure dissipation slows as the medium sand layer becomes twice as thick. Conclusion. This research is a laboratory scale investigation into the liquefaction behavior of sloping soils. The initial phase of this study examines the influence of the thickness of the unsaturated medium sand layer and the slope of the sand deposit layer on liquefaction potential. The findings from this testing indicate that decrease and decrease in the thickness of the medium sand layer are proportional to increase and decrease in the EPWP value. When the thickness of the medium sand layer reaches 100% or doubles from its initial height, the EPWP value begins to decrease even if the thickness continues to increase. Liquefaction occurs in layers where the medium sand layer is thinner. The relationship between the slope of the loose sand at the upper and lower boundaries will be further investigated in future studies. Okay, thank you for your attention.